In the last video, we talked about footstools and knee rests, like the one I've got here, that help lift the guitar up and get into a position where your elbow can drop under, we can get chords working nice and easily, play in the best way possible. But there were a number of comments asking about how using a knee rest compares to using a guitar strap. So we're going to be breaking down the differences between using a guitar strap compared to a knee rest. Now, the first thing I need to do is, of course, get my strap on. Now I've put the strap on the guitar, and as you see, I've changed out to an acoustic guitar because it's got the buttons to be able to hold the strap in place. My classical guitar doesn't have that. Of course, the obvious advantage to using a strap is going to be being able to stand up and play. So if you're on stage, you've got a performance element to what you're doing, absolutely, you can see an advantage to using a strap. You'll see some players like Yngwie Malmsteen would have the guitar on a guitar stand where it's held in the position he wants to play at. That way he can walk up to it standing up and play. Or you can have it with the strap, that way it's hanging from your shoulders. You can now keep playing. But performance aside, if you're playing at home, what are the disadvantages of a strap where the knee rest might have an advantage mechanically behind your playing? The main disadvantage with a strap here is because it's getting supported from the top by hanging down from your shoulders instead of resting on something underneath is stability, because when my elbow's on the corner and I let my elbow rest on the guitar, you'll see a lot of movement in your guitar. On the flip side, when I have my knee rest on the classical guitar here, even though this is going to be exactly the same between the acoustic and the classical, my elbow here doesn't put any movement in the guitar. I can push into it as hard as I like. The guitar stays really nice and stable. So the question becomes, why is this? What's the mechanics behind it? And what are we aiming for that gets us this really stable position? And the answer for this lies in when you're holding a guitar with it either footstool, which I wouldn't recommend, or with your knee rest on your knee, you're pinching the guitar between where your elbow is and down here where the rest is connecting to your guitar. If you make the guitar back of the body into a circle, those are opposite sides of the circle. Elbow there, knee there, pinches in, you get a really nice stability between those 2 points clamping towards each other. And it's this clamping between the two which tells us where our elbow wants to be. Because if our elbow's too high up, we have one side of the circle, and instead of the opposite, we're around here. What that's going to do is it's going to squeeze out and push the guitar down. On the flip side, if your elbow's too far down along the body of the guitar, what happens is you squeeze there, not to the opposite, but further around, and your elbow will slide down, pushing the guitar the other way. By having your elbow pushing directly into where the knee rest is, or using a footstool into your leg, we get that nice clamp and tons of stability. This stability allows us to dart up and down the neck really easily and really accurately. Using a strap means you can't relax your arm and just let it hang on the guitar because it kicks the guitar all over the place. Instead, you need to hold your arm a little bit up, and you'll get a lot of side-to-side movement because the strap isn't going to lock the guitar in place that way. We don't have that clamp. It can absolutely be used to get the guitar higher into the position you want it in, but you're going to be sacrificing some of that stability. Now, this is where we weigh up actually what we need and what are we trying to do. When I'm on stage playing, I've toured with playing acoustic guitar, electric guitar, rock bands, pop, country, tons of different areas. Often the music is far simpler, and because you're in a band, you've got multiple people playing, the music becomes simpler, you don't need to worry about the stability as much. It's well within your comfort zone of what you're playing, so having a little bit of movement in the guitar you can get away with. But we want to make sure that we're having a good performance. If you're sitting down, classical guitar position with a knee rest, you've got no movement, it's going to look really boring on stage. This is where I would say absolutely I want to do something that gets more of a performance, looks better, as well as ticking off the boxes of the level of playing I'm at, because the music isn't as complicated. But on the flip side, if I'm at home playing and I'm trying to push forward my technique, I'm not worried about the performance element of what's happening, then I would absolutely want that higher level of support. This is going to allow my technique to grow. It'll allow me to challenge myself without the guitar moving around being part of the equation that's going to bring down the level and the ability I'm playing at. So to sum up, with using a guitar strap, absolutely it can lift up and get the guitar in the same position as using a knee rest. And you can stand up by using a strap, you can jump around stage, you can have fun in the performance. If, on the other hand, you're looking at getting really good technique, you are going to want a level of stability, and this stability comes from that clamp between your elbow and the connection of your knee through the knee rest, or if you're using a footstool. That's what's going to give you that stability that'll push forward your playing. So each one absolutely has its advantage. All I would do is decide which one's going to be more appropriate for what you are doing that day on the guitar. Now, I love getting in your ideas of questions and videos you want to see, so absolutely put them down in the comments. I reply to them, I make videos that come up as good questions. I love seeing it there. And if you've got any value from this, like, follow, subscribe, all of the good stuff there, as I'm going to be pumping out a whole list of videos that are really going to help you push forward your guitar playing. And if you haven't seen the video I've been talking about with knee rest footstools, check it out over here. We break down the difference between sitting using a knee rest connected to your guitar or a footstool under your leg, why you would use them, and which one I choose to use in my playing. I'll see you in there.